How's it going, everybody? Sunday evening. Welcome. Let's talk about some things tonight. So, how do you feel about the world, right? It's getting pretty crazy, pretty intense out there. What did I do? DEW. What did I do? That's hilarious. Hi guys. What's up? What's up? What's up, man? Hey Travis. What up, Scotty? What's up, MJ? Let's see. There we go. Cool. Now we got some mods for this, so it's not going to be quite as crazy as the normal, happenings in here. Someone says the sound is low. Hold on. Can fix that. Better. Better? Thumbs up? Yay. Is that gooder? Nice. Clean my ears. Almost 100,000. Absolutely. So close. I'm about 3,000 away. It's my goal. It's my 1-year goal, man. 100,000 subscribers. That's crazy. JFK Airport, somebody commented. Yeah, apparently there's an evacuation due to smoke at the JFK Airport. More airport stuff, man. Good question here. Thanks, Lisa. How do we bring secret tech out in startups? I have seen a few small startup companies that are working to bring this stuff out. And I mean, the more public awareness we get around the issue, the quicker it's all going to come. Let's see. Let's see. Somebody says QAnon is a psyop. Can we say that definitively? And if it is a psyop, okay, say it is a LARP, what's the motive? What would the motive behind this LARP be? How does stimulating everybody to start researching everything and share this information about the corruption with their friends and family, how is that an effective psyop? If it is a psyop, it's a pretty bad one. Ooh, good question. It's got to go in incremental steps. So the first step would be flying cars, and then we can get to that, Star Trek reality past that. But flying cars released this year, maybe. We're seeing it come out everywhere in the media. This aerospace company, that aerospace company is working on different flying cars. Granted, they all have turbines in them still and fans. None of them actually have any kind of electrogravitic technologies, but maybe, we might see the very prototypical ones come out this year. Let's see. Thanks, Eric, following me since Lionel. Thank you. It was fun being on Lionel's show. He's an awesome guy. He kind of talks at 1,000 miles an hour, but it was good because it gave me someone to keep up with. I can do the same thing sometimes. So, no, but thank you for coming on since Lionel, man. That was an honor to do that interview with him and get a lot of new good fans. Ooh, good question. Thanks, Peaches. Peaches asks, where do I get my whole food vitamins? So she must have saw my vaccine video that I released this morning, because the very tail end, I was talking about whole food vitamins and the difference between synthetic Centrum 1-a-day, Costco standard isolated vitamins, and whole food natural ones. And I would say if you want a pill vitamin, if you want a tablet or a capsule, I would choose either Mega Food. Mega Food's a good company for that. You can look into Garden of Life or New Chapter, but Garden of Life and New Chapter are owned by Big Money. So, still good vitamins. Big Money, though. Mega Food, I believe, is still independently owned. Or you can just do whole food powders. That's what I've been more so a fan of. Green superfoods, doing spirulinas and chlorellas and actual I'm using one right now called Vitamin Mineral Green from a company called Health Force, and it's literally just a blended powder of green superfoods. So my vitamin is just powder. And then this question here by the conservative hippie. That's a good one. It's not an oxymoron. They said, have I eaten lion's mane mushroom? Yes, I've actually cooked with them. They don't taste very good, though. Tried putting them in an omelet once. But I take a lot of just supplement of lion's mane. Tinctures. I take a lot of tinctures of my mushrooms. I put them in my teas and my coffee. Let's see. I like these live chats because I jump around from just like question to question. My thoughts on Hitler dying in South America. Theory from FBI files, Trump released on JFK. Yeah, actually, I mean, is it necessarily a theory? We kind of have evidence supporting this, so I think it was, you know. Germany, during World War II, they had a lot of influence in South America, and that was because of their interest in Antarctica. So they had a lot of influence in South America. Yes, a lot of the Germans came to South America after World War II. I don't think Hitler, I don't think he was let to go down to Antarctica, because even Hitler wasn't at the top of the power chain in Germany. There were some other secret societies, like the Order of the Black Sun, for instance, that also wielded a lot of power, possibly more power than Hitler. So while some of the Germans were able to go down to Antarctica and take equipment and research and development stuff down there, I don't know if Hitler was. Maybe Hitler just got shunned to the bungalows in the Amazon or something like that. Argentina, I should say, more so Argentina. Ashton, what's up, brother? Great question. He asks, what would I do if I had grilled cheese for hands? Make sure it's organic. Let's see. Here's a statement on the Q sitch. Red Pirate asks, Q being a group of less than 5? Possibly. You know, I don't know if maybe there's 5 different Q posters, but of course this like Q is just a voice to this whole military intelligence operation against the deep state, right? So could be 5 posters of Q, maybe. Zach on InfoWars is part of it. A lot of people have been asking me about that and have sent me the link to the video. I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know. I don't know. But to say Zach is Q, I don't think so. And I mean, Zach could very well just be a well-read person who's great at connecting dots and speaking on the issues, and just, you know, is someone who's knowledgeable of it. Some people are saying something about Q disregarding Zach. I don't know about that. Let's see. What kind of other questions we got? Just scrolling through these. Hello, Crystal Clear Truth. Hello. Someone says Q equals Project Mockingbird. I would argue more so CNN and NBC and Washington Post and, as I say, CBS, and right, those are a lot more Mockingbirdish than Q is. Let's see here. Somebody asked me to smoke a fatty. Not on these live videos anymore, man. That's actually why I didn't vibe with my last one, is that I was smoking a fatty doing these live vids, and it's not that I'm gonna stop, but gotta get serious doing these videos, you know. And I don't feel like it's too, you know, being distracted while doing these videos is not a good thing. You guys deserve my attention. Ooh, somebody commented, Tracy Beans interviewed Dr. Corsai from InfoWars. I'd have to check that out. I didn't know that. Interesting one. Maybe I could get him on this show. Let's see. Tarka Jedi. Hello, fellow Jedi. I think Antarctica is the perfect launch pad for the SSP, Secret Space Program. Keen observation, Dr. Watson. Ooh, somebody said I'm too young to act seriously. Not anymore. Let's see. Dr. Corsai on Tracy Bean's vid today says, take Q very seriously. A lot of people are. Oh, my mic's rubbing on my shirt. You're smart. Thanks, Shockwave. Shout out to Shockwave for getting my audio right. Let's see. Chico Geeker. What up, Cheek? He says some QAnon are from naval intel. And I would agree with that. I would say some white hats are definitely in naval intelligence. And of course, a lot of these Q posts suggest that the No Such Agency is also affiliated, the NSA, Marine Intel. But of course, when it comes to the Navy, I'm involved. I've researched the secret space program topic heavily, and that's where William Tompkins was affiliated with. He was affiliated with the Navy. So, lot of good guys, right? A lot of good guys working their hearts out, working the best they can to rid the evil from this planet. Carix, thanks for the super chat, Carix. Pendula asks, will I learn to hand fart for us like Lionel? I don't think I can. Nope. It ain't gonna happen. Ooh, good question. What's my plan if the shit hits the fan? That question comes from the music well. I bet you do good music well with lyrics like that. I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the show. I'm not gonna worry. Probably go live on YouTube. Say, hey guys, shit hits the fan. Let's see. My hand farts are weak. Yep. Definitely a fast chat read. Silent but deadly. Question here. What happened to Sessions? Has he gone to the dark side? Don't know, man. Don't know. Of course, looking at his stance on marijuana. Very weird. Taking a hardline stance. Is it because of his conservative bias? Is he actually meaning it? Or is it just some show? Is it just talk? Somebody asked if I could put the chat in slow mode. I don't know how to do that. If you comment how to do that, I can. Unless one of these magic buttons at the bottom does that for me. All super. Eileen, I can see what you're saying. What? Comment. What are you saying? Somebody has asked if I've watched Vaxxed. I haven't seen Vaxxed, actually. But I definitely am outspoken on vaccines. And I would say autism is... we're not being told the full truth about that disease. Yes, I agree with you, Large. Let's see here. What kind of other? Go to my settings. It's not giving me a slow mode. Or at least I can't find it. Let's see. Thank you, Beverly. Thank you. I appreciate that. Question here from Steven. Am I going to release the Tompkins interview on my YouTube channel? So I did an interview with William Tompkins, his last interview actually, and part of it will be released on my YouTube channel. The other part we're going to release in full on the webinar that I'll be doing on the 27th. So that Secret Space Program webinar devoted to William Tompkins. Rest in peace, Tompkins. But he was the man. I'm going through his book again right now. Selected by Extraterrestrials, and his story is fascinating. He's literally like one of the foundational pillars of the secret space program, especially the naval side, the Navy's secret space programs. And he was there in the 50s working for Douglas Aerospace, designing spacecraft. It's amazing. It's amazing how far we really are when you think about it, you know? Somebody asks if I'm a reptilian shapeshifter. Must have saw that. There's like a video going around to somebody where I was doing a live stream, and during the live stream, the feed got some bad reception, so like my eye glitched and just went like a different shade. And apparently to some people on the internet, you're a reptilian if that happens. Hi, Rosemary. She asked what my horoscope sign is. It's a Scorpio. I am Scorpio. Let's see here. Thanks, Sarek, saying my anti-grav video was outstanding. Glad you think so. Those can be difficult, man, trying to make sure that I get not only the information correct, but the technicalities correct, because that's where it gets difficult, you know? And especially when, I mean, I'm not formally trained on one end, but on the other end, there's so many different ways to describe certain concepts that it can be very difficult. Let's see here. Philip video to his sister who has 3 kids and an infant. Awesome. I hope she learns some things and questions. Does more questioning. These vaccines, man, we gotta really get people understanding them. They just scare the living crap out of me. People willingly injecting stuff into themselves. Michael, he says he hates that they censored one of my videos. So I actually got this was back in December. I didn't tweet or post about it until now, but I got a legal complaint from YouTube where they said my video something violated local laws, and it gave me this list of like 30 or 40 countries. Most of them were from Europe, and apparently my video is no longer viewable around majority of the world. So it's just funny, you know. I get those and I just laugh at it. That video was from like a month ago anyway, so they got triggered. No, I didn't get threatened. I just got a email from YouTube, and some apparently person that claimed they were anonymous sent a mean message about me. Said they were watching me and I need to expect them. Somebody says green tea has fluoride. That's why you want as organic tea as possible. This is a question. It says, do I believe that the government is lizards? No, I don't believe the government is lizards, but I think that certain factions within our government for a little while now have been associated with reptilian species, yes. I am confident in saying that. Let's see, here's 2 questions that are back to back that are pretty much intertwined. They're very similar. So Robert asks, has my third eye opened? And Josh asks, how do we communicate with aliens? So for the first question, is my third eye opened? All of our third eyes open, right? Every night when we're dreaming, anytime we dabble in some consciousness expanding compounds, and really the goal is to open it more so, isn't it? Get your body healthier, get your mind strengthened, and meditate and get into a centered point of yourself to activate that sucker. And then how do we communicate with extraterrestrials? We just do that. We get ourselves spiritually balanced and go out and make the effort and set the intention to make contact with them. First, they usually start by dreams, and then if you work yourself up to it, you can have physical contact. But of course, spiritual strength and understanding. You don't want to be letting any negative entities into your field if you're, so you want to make sure you're prepared, but also if you're not spiritually prepared or enlightened enough per se, the won't be ready for you. Ooh, thanks MW for the super chat. And they said a non-scans video today shows Julian Assange outside. I'm gonna have to check that. So he's mentioning a non-scan, which is a Twitter handle for Anonymous Scandinavia at ANONSCAN. So go check it out if you're on Twitter, and I'll go check it out after this. I wasn't aware of that. And thanks, Beverly. She said she recovered her severely autistic son by detoxifying and diet. Absolutely. Let's see here. Marty said, did I hear QAnon on InfoWars? I mean, I don't want to say I was the first one, but when I was on the War Room, I might have been the first one on InfoWars that spoke about QAnon. But then, of course, I wasn't on the main stage. Alex Jones talked about it recently in the last few weeks. So maybe Alex Jones got the authorization to begin speaking about it and really going hard with his talking of it. Or he felt that it had enough following to where people wouldn't find him crazy, something like that, even though enough people already find him crazy. But Alex Jones, he still says, a lot of people say, oh, controlled op, yada yada, and he still says some interesting things, though. And he has people on his channel that he lets fly, so I know he doesn't say everything quite as much, or certain things he is careful with on his radio show, but of course, he's very, very popular, and he has a very specific audience, so. Have I ever been in a cult? No, Sam Adams. I have not. Let's see. Nicholas says, would I be down for a meet and greet hangout with people in Western Washington? Yeah, man. I'll actually be in Seattle in early March, real early March for a seminar. Be doing a day-long seminar, so I'll post the time and location and all that as it comes closer, and then maybe afterwards we can go out somewhere. Do like a meet and greet there. Do I believe the storm is more than what Q is specifically red pilling about? Consciousness raising. It's a good way to put it, right? What if the storm is disclosure? Another way to put it. Different ways to describe different things. Let's see. Anyone know how to slow comments? I don't know. I wish I knew how. Hey, Anthony. Just found my channel a month ago. I think I do great work. Awesome. That's good to hear. Appreciate that. Calm before the flash, Noetic says. Yeah, exactly, right? That solar flash is coming, right? That's one of the biggest things that we're just not taught. We're not taught about how our galaxy and our solar system and our whole cosmos functions. We're not told about the cycles, the natural cycles that not only our Earth but our sun and our galactic central sun goes through. So it's imminent, man. But granted, it's in my mind, I think of it this way though. It's like a two-way street, right? So we're waiting on the sun to pop off, but the sun is also waiting on us to get our shit together, to get our collective consciousness synced and invite that flash to occur. Somebody asks, am I high? No, not high, but I'm high on holy basil and high on life and kratom. And kratom. Oh, good question. Chris asking me, do I think we as humans evolved naturally here on Earth, or were we seeded here? And why? Yeah, that's like a long question. You had to add the and why at the end. So that turns like a 2-minute conversation and like a 20-minute conversation. And why? I think both. I think we were seeded here, and evolution exists. And evolution is a lot faster than we're led to believe. But we also have some genetic anomalies within us, like a fused chromosome, right? And this junk DNA, of course, 95% of our DNA that doesn't make our physical body. What does it make? What does it connect us to? So yes, we were seeded here. Yes, there are some anomalies within us that show we were genetically tampered with. But why? Because spiritual playground. Earth is a learning ground, and it was kind of like a science experiment slash spiritual school, and it's one of the toughest, because Earth's a bitch. Let's be real. Earth's a real bitch compared to some other places in this galaxy, in the cosmos. But that's what makes it the best spiritual learning ground here. Because of the challenge associated with being on this planet. So that's why all of us are here at this point in time. We chose to be here because before we incarnated into these bodies, we said, yeah, I want that challenge because I know it's going to make that soul grow. Let's see here. If evolution exists, then why the hell are there still monkeys? Good question, right? Because where's that missing link? Why is there still a bunch of monkeys and a bunch of humans, but no middle, right? So it shows you, yes, we are seeded. But evolution, the changing of genes, definitely happens. I mean, it's not like it's black and white. Science is wrong or it's not. It's a mix, right? Everything's gray. There's gray in everything. Thanks, Soapbox. I definitely appreciate that. Let's see, what happened with the YouTube video, video YouTube banned? Oh, so they were asking about that video that I had a legal complaint against. And it just can't be viewed in a few countries. They didn't necessarily ban it. I don't have any strikes against my account or anything either. And A, we'll call him A. Thanks, A. He asks, when do I think the true storm will hit? Well, we're kind of in the true storm right now, right? Things are just absolutely crazy with planes and trains and airports and indictments and boots that can't make up their mind of what foot they want to be on. So it's we're definitely in the storm, but when will it actually go mainstream? Go like seriously public? It better be soon, let me tell you. So I know a lot of people are getting antsy and they want results. At the same time though, This is a very complicated situation, quite obviously. I mean, we're talking about the takedown of bloodline lineages that have been here for thousands of years and have infiltrated into the deepest, darkest facets of society, and have resources and technologies. So it's a complicated game, right? But it's moving along, and we're actually seeing the fruition of a plan by white hats and alliance people, and you know the good. This has been planned for a long time, so it's not going to happen overnight, of course. But again, I know a lot of people want action and they're waiting for it, and I think it will happen pretty quick here. I think January is going to be a huge month. It's the what, 7th now, and we have Hillary's house burned down that she still hasn't said a word about, and then investigation on her, and then investigation on her Clinton Foundation, and again, all these plane, airport, train station anomalies, and we have these indictments, and we have lots of stuff. This is a good comment. Not a question, but it's a good comment by AC Rowe. He says, spiritual entities that invade our personal sovereignty without our permission are a violation of universal law. Absolutely. Most important statement, without our permission. That's how that we all have allowed the darkness to take such a hold on this planet, is by permission. I mean, they've made us pretty dumb and pretty ignorant, but what they've done is made us use our own minds and our own brains against us, right? Because we allow what they do to happen by consent, by silence. Good documentary. What was it? Silence of the Governed, or Consent of the Governed. Consent of the Governed. And yeah, they've used us against us, and because of that, it hasn't turned that wheel of karma. It hasn't enacted any cosmic redistribution of the energy, because we have bent over and took it, right? So because more people are standing up, asserting their own personal sovereignty, saying, no, I don't agree with this shit, and actually doing something about it, that's beginning to turn that wheel of karma. And the elite are losing a lot of power. That's why they look like skeletons. They need that adrenochrome supply. Oh my god, adrenochrome. They ain't gonna get it. It's a good question by Thaddeus. It's a question about aliens, so definitely gonna answer it. What's my opinion on the Pleiadians' role in the bigger picture? Speculatory, but they could very well be assisting in this alliance takedown of the deep state, right? And I think it's possible. I've seen some evidence. Could be. So it's kind of do or die for humanity, right? We're literally getting to the 59th minute of the 11th hour here. So with this Q thing hitting, it was like, well, if we don't do this, then humanity's kind of screwed. So we have to do something to get this collective consciousness stimulated, and that's where the QAnon things comes in. And of course, there's been assistance for a long time of Nordic extraterrestrials and different races trying to assist where they can from behind the scenes to help humanity overcome the darkness. Let's see here. Am I a believer that the Draco are negative? Emilio asks. Yeah, I'm of the opinion that the Draco is a pretty negative faction of reptilian beings. That being said, there's always good and bad, both sides of the picture. And just because it's reptilian doesn't mean it's bad reptilian. Just because it's a secret society here on Earth doesn't mean it's a bad secret society. But the ones in control of this planet now, yes, there's many reptilian species that are nefarious. Ooh, somebody commented the Urantia book. I need to read that. That thing is thick. That thing is like a brick, man. Maria asks, do I think Tesla's secret technology will go mainstream? I do. And I mean, the more we all talk about it, the quicker it's going to go mainstream. So shout it from the rooftops, guys. But yes, I mean, it's people's consciousness are getting ripe. I mean, it's everything is so chaotic. They're like, wow, there has to be something else going on behind the scenes than what the mainstream will show us. So it's getting ripe for the picking. Then you just plant the seeds in their consciousness. You go, hey, Tesla actually doesn't mean a car. It means a pretty important person, right? Let's see here. 0 Point Medical Technologies, Shell commented, and good point. There's a lot of unlimited energy creation technologies out there that have been suppressed and we're waiting for, but there's also life extension and regenerative technologies. Somebody asks if I'm holding something in my hand. I'm holding the other earbud, and I'm trying to hold this away from my shirt so it doesn't squeak. Let's see here. Let's see here. So Andrew Fader asks me what am I going to do when Drumpf, I'm assuming that he is meaning the President of the United States, is impeached for obstruction of justice, conspiracy to commit computer crimes, money laundering, embezzling, racketeering, and conspiracy against the USA. Prove it. Would you rather have had Hillary? Let's see here. Brian asks, have I ever had any alien interaction? No physical contact, but I have seen many craft in the sky. Things that were obviously craft. I mean, you're having intelligent interaction with them. I'm holding one of the high-powered lasers, flashing it in the sky. It's blinking at me. Large power-up flies away. Question here. Thanks, Roberto. Did I watch The Last Jedi? Yes, I did. I don't want to spoil it for anybody, so I won't talk about it too much. But cheesy parts. It's Disney. Come on. But overall, it's entertaining. And yeah, I just don't want to say things and ruin it for people. But it was quite funny the kind of disclosures they had in The Last Jedi by way of the human mind, right? I mean, of course, it's Star Wars and Jedis, doing stuff with their mind, but how I can say this without dropping any overt hints, earmuffs if you haven't seen Last Jedi, how Luke was remote viewing, right, and astral projecting. That's crazy. Let's see here. Kevin asks, what do I know about Air Force Space Command? I mean, just my initial thought on that is the Air Force, of course, you can't generalize and name one group bad and one group good. But it's normally been the Air Force as what the Cabal have used to lie, to misinform about the UFO topic, and the Air Force has ties to CIA, right? We've got the naval intelligence, full of typically more white hats, you could say, having their own space programs. So let's see here. So this is a good question by Josh. He's asking, will hologram technology be used in a false flag? And you might have heard of this concept before, otherwise known as Project Bluebeam, but I don't think it's necessarily viable. I think too many people know about it. They know, are warned of it, so they would totally know if that was in the sky. And yeah, I just don't think it's possible. And also, of course, it would be stopped. I mean, we've got all this shadow civil wars going on behind the scenes. So I think if that plan was going to be tried by any black hats per se, it'd be snuffed out. Thanks, Mr. Perkins. I would love to be on your podcast to talk about aliens. Shoot me an email, my friend. Good question here by Zanderman. He's asking, what's my opinion on C60? So C60 is a supplement. It's an arrangement of 60 carbon atoms in a cage-like structure that has, I believe, a specific magnetic resonance where it will suck in free radicals and assist in the health and youthfulness and vitality of your being. I've tried it before. A few years ago, actually. I've been aware of this stuff for quite a bit. But of course, I was so young and just taking so many other things at the same time that I didn't notice much of anything. And it was kind of expensive, so I stopped taking it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Question from Sarah. She's asking me, what am I going to college for? What was I going to college for? And I've had a few questions by people asking me like what my story is and whatnot. And coming up on 100,000 subs here, I think that's what I'll do for my 100,000 sub celebration. I'll make a video on my upbringing and my story and my awakening process. But I went to college for construction management, actually, hilariously enough, and architecture. And then I did 1 year at university and left that, did a couple years at community college where I just went for like business management or something like that. There's a reason why I dropped out of college. Let's just say that. It was business management. I was just trying to slide on out of there, right? Let's see here. We'll do a few more questions here and I'll sign off for the evening. Do one of these again a little later in the week and I'll try to find out how to slow the chat down. Let's see here. I'm looking for Ashley's question. There's some people saying that Ashley's going to lose it if I don't answer her question. Can't find it. Heidi asks, Jordan, what area of research interests me most? And few things. Definitely the secret space programs and free energy devices and sciences and all that jazz, because that's just A, fascinating, and B, crucial. It's, not very many people know about it or know the full breadth of it. So it's so important to tie in so many different things. And also because of the implications of it, the cosmological implications, it just makes us redefine everything we thought we knew. So there's, of course, secret space program, pedogate, and I don't want to say it interests me the most. It's just the stuff that we need to expose and get rid of on this planet. So I just talk about it a lot. And health, because if we don't know how to take care of ourselves, we're not going to know how to take care of the planet. So those three. I'd say those three at this point. Free energy is coming, boys. Yes, definitely. Pedogate is definitely important, Miss Freedom Seeker. There's a lot of children to save, all right? And a lot of nasty, nasty people to get out of our government. Josh asks, am I vegan? No, not vegan. Many days I am, but not every day. Depends on how I'm feeling that day. This question here by SC1983 asks, have I ever experienced gang stalking for trying to get the truth out? Not gang stalking, no, but just everything I've experienced has been online, from people trying to log into my Facebook account to getting weird phished emails from other people's email accounts to, of course, the legal complaint. Gets my YouTube video demonetization all the time. Pretty much every video I do now is demonetized right when I upload it. And then, of course, Amazon deleted my affiliates accounts that I had with them a couple of months ago. So everything's just been on the internet. Oh, Mr. Poopy Butthole. Hi, Mr. Poopy Butthole. Rick and Morty joke. They asked me, why am I crying? When did I cry? I can make myself cry. No, I didn't cry. I missed it. Sorry you missed it, Mr. Poopy Butthole. I just wanted to answer your question because the name cracked me up. Let's see. This question here, do I think Bannon and Trump are playing the media? Could very well be. I just logged on to CNN before I did this video here, and now Bannon is apparently backtracking and apologizing to Trump Jr., but saying he meant Manafort or something like that. So it does seem like a pretty weird show that they're playing. Good actors, right? Deborah asks, crop circles. My views on crop circles is that they are messages, they're hints that have been left for us, for those that choose to see, and they've been left here for a long time. And they're always, whether they're a hint about some sacred geometrical pattern that's important to us, like Taurus and the flower of life, and there's a lot of different patterns that are embedded in the crops. Or the interesting ones are when they're binary coded messages, or it's like a reply to us humans. For instance, the Voyager plaque that we sent out into space on one of the Voyager craft that had a picture of like us as a human and our solar system and a picture of an antenna. There was a reply. Look this up. It's fascinating. There was a reply to that crop, or to that message, in a crop circle. It wasn't a circle, it was a rectangle because it was the message to this plaque, and it showed what looked like to be an ET being. It was the exact same thing as the I'm not going to look it up, but it's the exact same thing as the Voyager plaque. It's just there's a little ET man on it showing basically their solar system, and it had a fractal antenna instead of a radio antenna. So on the human one that was on Voyager, it had a human antenna. On this crop circle, it had a fractal. It was like a fractal antenna, so it was fascinating. And that's not the only one. I mean, there was another crop circle that had it looked like a ET face that was kind of a gray, had bigger eyes and no hair, but it had a disc, and on this disc in the crop circle, it had a binary code on it, and if you look at what the binary code meant, it was deciphered, and it meant, I'm paraphrasing here, of course, but essentially it said, beware the false idols. Don't worry, there's still time, but there's a lot of darkness on this planet. Or a lot of darkness on this planet, but don't worry, there's still time, something, something, something. So, yeah, crop circles, man. I can go on some tangents with those. Ooh, have I had a successful remote viewing? Yes, actually. I'm going to post it on somewhere, maybe my Twitter or Facebook after this, but The very first time I tried remote viewing exercise, which was just earlier this year, it was of I drew it and the picture came out. It was a sailboat and it looked pretty close. I got good shapes, man. It was a very good exercise of remote viewing. And the thing with remote viewing, don't overthink it. I've talked to a lot of people about remote viewing, and I hear, oh, I don't know which one to do, or what position am I in, or what do I draw with, all this stuff. Just go with the flow, man. When I did it, I just bloop, grab my pen, go with your feelings, go with what you're instinctually feeling. Because we were talking about Jedis earlier, right? Do not think, feel. Let it come to you. Can I move objects with my mind? Working on it. Man, you have no idea. You have no idea how much I like. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it one of these days. Let's see. UFO false flag event, deep state coming. Kind of already have seen the false flag beginning to be set up, right? Or phase one in play with that New York Times piece on the UFO Pentagon program. But with the way this whole storm and cabal takedown is going, and January is slated to be, I wouldn't doubt if there was another round or some kind of phase two of false flag disclosure. Let's see. Was this your question, Ashley? Do I think the Royals are on Trump's list? Royals? What Royals? The baseball team? Kansas City Royals? I mean, define Royals. Are we talking about like the Queen of England? Let's hope so. All right, we'll answer one more question. Couple more. Let's just go through them. Quick fire. When do I think they will try and kill Trump? They've probably tried many times. They failed. They won't be able to do it. He's insulated. Must escape Earth. I don't want to escape. We got some work to do here. Do you can preserve my own food? I don't, but I need to. Preparing, right? Food, water, extras on hand. Be a very good idea. Inner Earth. Yes. It was just a comment. Inner Earth. I guess so. Let's see. All right, guys. I think that'll be about it for this one. Larry asks, am I moving to Tucson? Nope. Never been to Arizona. Do I believe that we create our own reality with co-creative consciousness? Absolutely. And that's the key, because we often hear you create your own reality, right? But it's everybody creating this reality together, which is the key in understanding that. So you can believe something and really try to manifest, but it's very difficult to do unless you have everybody else also putting in that energetic input into making that happen. So, I don't want to keep ranting. All right, guys, I think that's all for this one. So thank you all for joining me this evening, this Sunday night, and probably go live tomorrow morning sometime, because the way the news goes, I mean, it's like the night before, I always do those news updates. I'm like, oh, I haven't come across enough stuff to do one in the morning. But then I wake up and I log onto the internet and boom, there's all this stuff that happens. So likely that I'll be tuning in for live news in the morning. Got some more whiteboard videos planned. And thank you all. Appreciate you joining me this evening. Thank all of you who've supported me on Patreon, and these super chats are amazing. I thank you all for helping me do this, helping me help support me so I can do these videos and devote myself to this full time. It's just amazing. Nothing else I'd rather be doing on this planet. So, and thank you all as well who've checked out the webinar, Secret Space Program webinar I've got coming up on the 27th. Good night, Roland. Peace and love. Love you, Katie. Hey, S.A. Morris. Thank you, Marin. Thank you, Brandy. Namaste, Josh. Thank you, Deborah. Take care. Shar. Love you, Adri. Thanks, just me. Peace and love, just me. Peace, Esther. All right, love you too, your mom. End with that one.